Welcome everyone. This is my 1993 Citroen XM. Today we're gonna go for a little drive. So let's just unlock it and take a quick look and we'll go for a drive. So as you can see, this is the 2.1 liter turbo diesel, producing about 109 horsepower, and it goes quite well for such a big car. This obviously has the Citroen hydropneumatic suspension, which also controls your steering and your brakes. And right now it's at the lowest position, but once we start it up, it will go up, hopefully. I got this car for around €1,000, and it's been a lot of fun. So let's unlock it again because it locked itself for some reason. The interior is quite nice. We've got this cool cloth, nice seats. It's very comfy. The doors close really nicely.
What's up, bro?
Oh, who are you?
It's the Moros Hacks. You can check down in link below the video.
Where's the button for the ejector seat?
For the catapult.
Okay,
Let's go.
so here I've got my gear knob. That's not original, but I'm changing this soon. It's really bugging me. But as you can see, very nice wheel. This is not the original wheel of the car because this is a 1993 model. It came with a 2-spoke steering wheel, but I found this 1-spoke from an earlier car and I put it in, and it's really cool. You gotta have one of those if you have an old Citroen. It's a must. So let's start up. We've got cool animations over here. We've got your clock and the outside temperature. Hopefully it starts. There you go. Yeah, old diesels. So right now we've got it on low. Here you can bring up the suspension all the way up to the highest position, but you can't really drive on these two positions because you basically have no suspension and it's very bumpy. This is your off-road setting, but still it's not very comfortable because the car is quite high, and really mostly you're driving in this position now, which is the basic driving position. Here I've got my mirror controls, rear window, I've got my cassette player, and of course we've got some cassettes. Let's turn that off, otherwise we'll get a copyright strike. We've got ashtrays. It doesn't have air conditioning, which is a shame, but basically it is what it is. Put the seat belts. Your handbrake is down here and you release it with your hand. Put on our lights and we're good to go. Hopefully it has raised up until now. Yeah, should be fine. So let's set off. Very traditional gauges, which is a bit of a shame because old Citroens had very interesting gauges up here, but this is more conventional. You've got your temperature. This is your oil level, which doesn't work here, but usually it shows you the level of the oil when you turn the ignition on. And I've got a turbo gauge. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
If all the cars were made like this, my business would die.
Shut up.
Shut up and drive, bro.
So let's
go left.
Let's go left.
Okay, we have temperature working now. Yeah. So you can
temperature.
Yeah, I mean working temperature. Okay.
Yeah, everything is working. So yeah, the reason I bought it is because it's something interesting. You just don't find these cars anymore.
Bro, excuse me, can we close the doors because someone can stole my bag?
I don't think we can.
Don't you have some magic button to close?
No.
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 So many buttons, it's a shame.
Let's go that way. I don't know, we could, but I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know how.
Just drive.
Don't distract me.
Yeah.
So, where was I? I forgot my thought.
Here on the road.
But yeah, it's very comfy because of the suspension and all that.
Can I do this while you're driving?
No, you can't. Don't touch this. It's a little child. And it's very comfy. It's got these spheres, these green balls where you have nitrogen on one side and you have your hydraulic fluid on the other, and they control your suspension, your power steering and your brakes. So it's all very quite interesting, and it's one system, and if something breaks down, you don't have steering and you don't have brakes, and your suspension will go down. But when it's working, it's very pleasant. The brakes are also very interesting. The pedal is not it doesn't have travel like on a normal car. It's more like a rubber button that you just apply pressure to and the car stops, which is another interesting thing because of the system. When you press the pedal, essentially you're just releasing some of the pressure to the brakes instead of what you do on a normal conventional car where you actually make pressure. So the brakes are quite powerful.
And on the left we can try.
We can try, yes.
The road.
Let's try.
Let's try. Sorry bro, you lost your mind here. Okay, let's curve the road, how it does.
Yeah, it handles very well.
If I will fall down on the ground through the window.
We can engage our sport mode. Here, down here, we've got a button, and if we press it, you can see it says sport suspension, and we got this little light. So one of the criticisms that people had of previous hydraulic suspensions was that they had a lot of body roll. So in the XM, this was the first car that had an active suspension. So when you corner, it will actually stiffen the suspension so it doesn't roll that much. And you've got two settings. You've got normal, where it does also stiffen when you turn, but when you put it in sport, it essentially, it's not sport all the time, but it improves the reaction time of the system, I guess, allegedly. That's what they say. But I mean, still a big car, and but I mean,
no, it's not a dynamic drive.
yeah, and it's front wheel drive. You've got all the weight on the front, so and you've got a very short tail, so it's pretty much like a BMW compact, but only the other way around.
Okay, let's turn here. I'm really afraid.
But I mean, it has decent traction. My tires are not very good, but
they are Goodyear, so
Goodyear.
it was a good year.
It was, but it's not anymore.
It's not anymore a good year.
2020 is not a good year. Imagine if they stop us with this GoPro on my head.
Because if we were in USA, we can just film this guy taking us a ticket, maybe.
Maybe. What is going on
here,
there?
He will be not very kind if he sees this.
Yeah. What the hell is going on?
Everyone is shut the fuck up.
Anyway, yeah, when you're in your XM, nothing really matters. So yeah, it's It's not a very fast car, I guess. 109 horsepower, turbo diesel. There was also a naturally aspirated version of this engine in the XM, which was about 80 horsepower, which I can imagine would be very slow. But it's adequate.
Okay, this is full throttle, right?
Yep. We are going for it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all right. But this is not a car for fast driving. I mean, on a highway, yeah, but it doesn't accelerate very quickly, especially off the line. After that, it's quite nice.
It has some turbo lag.
Yeah, it does.
Here on the left.
You can drive it at like 1200 RPM and it drives nicely, but you get the power at about 2000 and up. But yeah, it's very nice. You've got your lights here, main beam, dip beam, all that. We've got a rear wiper which works. Well, the washing function doesn't work, but let's not think about that. Yeah, what else? This wheel is very cool. I just like that wheel. You've got a lot of space for your hands, and
does this horn work?
It's just cool. The horn is up here. Yeah. That guy is wondering why I just honked at him. Here you've got your controls for the windows. We've got this window here, kind of like a DeLorean. It's a bit weird, but these also came with a few petrol engines. You could get a 2-liter petrol with about 120 horsepower, which I guess would be nice, but it'll probably lack some torque. Or you could get a 3-liter V6, which interestingly was an updated version of the V6 in the DeLorean, and had about, early versions had about 170 horsepower and later versions close to 200. And that would be quite pleasant to have the noise. Probably won't be that fast, but it'll have a nice noise. What are you? Left.
Yeah.
Let's go left.
Because your video is very long. Let's see what happens.
Do we have enough space?
Let's see. I don't. Oh, 13 minutes already, so you have some time.
Some time. Cool. Have some time. Other interesting things, yeah. So yeah, active suspension. You get less body roll. We've also got passive rear steering, so the rear subframe is on special mountings which allow it to turn opposite to the front wheels in a corner because of the forces that are generated when you turn. It's not with motors or anything or mechanical, it's just with special bushings, and that's quite interesting. But sometimes it can feel like the rear is trying to escape you, so it's a bit of a weird feeling. But yeah, it's just a nice car to cruise in. Obviously it's safe because it's front-wheel drive, unless it understeers and then it oversteers when you lift off.
Yeah, you had some bad experience, I think, with the rear-wheel drive BMW, right, Miko?
Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about it. Let's not destroy this video.
But yeah, it's nice, and my boost gauge works, and that's the important thing. We've got some noises coming from here, but we'll fix that. Yeah. Nothing to worry about.
So you're pretty satisfied with this?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. I've spent about 500 euros on top for maintenance stuff. mostly preventative maintenance, changing all the fluids, and refilling spheres, and also I changed one of the spheres of the suspension. Put on some flushing fluid for the suspension because I had some issues with the power steering, but I don't have it anymore. Really, the important thing with these cars is to find someone who specializes on them, because not a lot of people are willing to take on the work, but they're not actually that complicated. And if you
you're searching for pensioners, or I don't know how to call it in English.
Pensioners. Yeah, or they are old people, and when they die, then nobody else will be able to
park there. Excuse me, where they were before.
I'll park it with the front.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Shit. I'll fuck up your video now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish your video, please.
Yeah, I will. So yeah, if you can find someone who knows how to work on them, the parts, if you can find the parts, they're actually not that expensive, but it's just finding the parts is a bit difficult, really, because Citroen doesn't make them anymore, obviously, and especially some specific XM parts. So we can lower the suspension now, and if we go outside and take a look, yeah. But yeah, it's just a very nice car. Something cool I would just like to show you, and we'll end this video. Something quite unique for the XM is this inside glass. It's basically the 13th glass of the car. There's a lot of glass on it, and it's essentially there so when you open the hatchback, the rear passengers don't get cold air inside. So yeah, it's basically a luxury car. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Subscribe, don't check his channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye.